CNN claimed Nancy Sinatra was not happy her father's song was played at Trump's inauguration. Nancy Sinatra responded, "That's not true. I never said that. Why do you lie, CNN?" The New York Times Magazine and CNN shared a story showing children illegally brought into the U.S. supposedly in cages. But the article and photos were actually from the Obama administration. CNN also edited a video to make it seem like Trump impatiently dumped fish food in the water at Japan's palace, but he'd followed the lead of Japan's prime minister. Time falsely claimed Trump removed the bust statue of Martin Luther King from the Oval Office. TMZ reported Trump changed Black History Month to African American History Month, but Presidents Obama, Bush, and Clinton had all called it African American History Month. BBC, The Guardian, and others reported that Trump wasn't bothering to listen to a speech by Italy's prime minister since he wasn't wearing translation headphones. Turns out he was wearing a translation earpiece. The New York Times and others implied Trump hadn't paid income taxes for 18 years, but the record shows he'd paid a higher rate than Democrats Bernie Sanders and President Obama. Several news outlets featured an empty podium at Trump's 4th of July celebration in 2019 and said he didn't draw crowds, but the photo was taken before the event. The actual crowd was huge. The UK Telegraph apologized for at least 8 mistakes in an article criticizing Melania Trump. In 2018, NBC incorrectly reported that Trump stayed home at Christmas time, the first U.S. president since 2002 to skip visiting the troops. The news went global, but it wasn't true. The media had jumped the gun. Trump and First Lady Melania left the White House Christmas Day to visit U.S. soldiers in Iraq. On Thanksgiving, Newsweek made a similar error, falsely reporting that Trump was spending the holiday golfing at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. But the reporter had fabricated the golf story.
So you guys get the message. I wanted to play that because of what we're going to be talking about today. And so you saw there that mainstream media has lied over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? I feel like a broken record saying over and over again, but that's just the truth. That's a fact. I mean, you guys just saw that was 2 minutes, and that's not even all of the times that they've lied. Because remember, they have lied about Joe Biden as well. And I played a clip of this for you guys, I don't know, maybe last week, I believe. But just as a little refresher, I'm not going to play the whole thing. This is like another 3-minute video of them lying about Joe Biden. I'll probably play about 30 seconds of it. But just to give you guys a good idea, like, they were lying about Joe Biden too.
Does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question. Oh my gosh, he's the president of the United States. You know, I can't even keep up with him.
The most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it, because he is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
I can testify because I've been working very closely with this president for the past 2 years. I've been knowing him for 30 years. And I'm telling you, this guy's tough. He's smart. He's on his game.
Joe Biden.
He's tough. He's smart. He's on his game. You know, even Joe Scarborough, you guys remember that when he got in on the action? And here's the truth. And F you if you don't believe it. Well, here it is.
But comparing that guy's mental state, I've said it for years now, he's cogent. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years. And, you know, I don't know if people know this or not, Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning. Sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say. This is, and I don't really, you know what, I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever.
That's our mainstream media. That was aired on national television by someone who's supposed to be trusted, right? Joe Scarborough, Morning Joe, MSDNC, and F you if you don't believe him. It's the best version of Joe Biden. Wow. That is incredible stuff. But I wanted to play all of this because, of course, if you guys haven't heard, well, mainstream media has basically had an award show, and they were basically giving each other awards. And yeah, I gotta play this clip of Kristen Welker, and you'll understand why I played those clips before. So with that being said, let's jump into it.
The Aldo Beckman Award for Overall Excellence is named for a past president of the association, the late Chicago Tribune Washington correspondent Aldo Beckman. The award was established in 1981 to recognize a correspondent who personifies the journalistic excellence and personal qualities of Aldo Beckman: impartiality, integrity, and a deep knowledge of the presidency. The award also includes a prize of $2,500. This year's award goes to Alex Thompson of Axios. The judges said Thompson's aggressive reporting on President Biden, especially leading up to and after the Trump-Biden debate, revealed the president's cognitive decline was impacting his ability to do his job, information the White House tried to conceal. Ladies and gentlemen, the White House Correspondents Association.
It wasn't just the White House that was trying to conceal it, and I just played a little 30-second clip of that being true. It was also people just like Kristen Welker, mainstream media, that was doing the exact same thing. You said we literally just watched the clip of Joe Scarborough saying that was the best version of Joe Biden, knowing good and darn well it wasn't. You guys remember when Karine Jean-Pierre said that the video clips that extreme right MAGA extremists, whatever, conservatives, whatever she said, labeled us as, they were all cheap fakes. You guys remember that? She said they were cheap fakes. Biden wandering off like a lost puppy, right? Getting guided where he needed to go. Us, when we would post pictures of the note cards he would have at the podium telling him who to call on and what questions they were going to ask, right? When the guy said, end of quote, repeat the line, and we were like, what? He doesn't even know how to read a teleprompter? Oh no, those are cheap fakes. Cheap fakes. That's all fake. That's right-wing propaganda. So it wasn't just the Democrat Party or the Biden administration. It was also mainstream media. These very same people that are about to try to gain your trust back. And if you think I'm joking, I'm going to jump back into the clip. Check it out.
The association is pleased to give the Aldo Beckman Award to Alex Thompson.
Indulge me, because I have a lot of thank yous. One serious note, to my bones, I believe that reporting and the White House Correspondents Association is as necessary as ever. President Biden's decline and its cover-up by the people around him is a reminder that every White House, regardless of party, is capable of deception. But being truth tellers also means telling the truth about ourselves. We, myself included, missed a lot of this story, and some people trust us less because of it. We bear some responsibility for faith in the media being at such lows. I say this because acknowledging errors builds trust, and being defensive about them further erodes it. We should have done better. I believe our mission is vital in a world where people are struggling to figure out what's true, and people with power are not telling the truth. I also believe that this association has been, is, and will continue to be critical to that mission. Thank you to the association's leadership for your unflinching defense of the First Amendment, not just now, but always. Your decades of daily battles on behalf of reporters is why this award is one of the great honors of my life. Oh, one last thing. I love you, Mom. Thank you, guys.
So yeah, you heard a little bit of that, and I do completely disagree, right? Because he said that mainstream media missed the story. No, they didn't miss. None of you missed. You intentionally ignored it and blatantly lied about it. It allowed Karine Jean-Pierre and what was his name? Alejandro Mayorkas, I think is his name. Get on national television and blatantly lie. Nancy Pelosi get on national television and blatantly lie. You allowed them to use your airwaves to blatantly lie about something that you all knew the truth about. And some of you joined in on the lie and yelled it out yourselves. Joe Scarborough, best version of Joe Biden. What? The guy tripping over sandbags, can't even read a teleprompter? End of quote. Repeat the line. What? That's the best version of Joe Biden? Being guided around like a lost dog wandering off like a lost puppy? That's the best version of Joe Biden? And F us if we don't believe it? Really? Nah, listen, I hope mainstream media completely goes under. I don't even care anymore. Because for a while, I wanted mainstream media to regain its mantle. But now, I don't even care. I honestly would prefer that they crumble. Because that's the only way that they're going to learn their lesson. Because they're still pushing propaganda now. I mean, think about it. How many times have you turned on the news, which I doubt you do. I feel like most people now don't even watch the news. But how many times have you ever seen a clip from, mainstream media that isn't Fox, right? That was positive on Uncle Trump or Republicans in general? How many times? Not including Fox. How many times have you turned it on and they were saying something positive? It's basically 100% negative. Every single day. Trump bad, Republicans terrible, Trump bad, Trump dictator, Trump bad, Trump dictator, Trump bad, Trump destroying, Trump bad. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's propaganda. That's not the news. That's propaganda. And the only way I believe we're ever going to get actual news again is watching these trash news companies completely fail because nobody watches anymore. That's just my humble opinion. But what do y'all think? So not for a second am I believing that they're all of a sudden turning a leaf because this guy gave some nice speech. Like, no, they still do it to this day, right? I cover it all the time. It's Trump derangement, Trump bad, Trump derangement, Trump bad, everything negative. Oh, Democrats are great, right? That's all it is. That's not news. That's propaganda. I'm sorry. It just is, right? Am I saying that Republicans or Uncle Trump himself, am I saying that Republicans or Uncle Trump himself, everything that they do is positive or great? No, of course not. I disagree with Trump, right? But I'm also saying that not everything they do is terrible and Trump's a dictator and Trump bad. And that's all that mainstream media decides to talk about. And that's not the news. That's propaganda. So let them fall apart at this point. But what do y'all think? Talk to me. Peace and love. I'm out.